Welcome back to It's All About Him. Today's topic I'm actually going to talk about as a leader, who do you turn to? So, being that I'm a leader myself, I've been a leader for 13 years of a ministry which is broken up into two groups. I have the adults and I do have teenagers. But the thing is that one of the things that I actually struggled with is I kind of felt like because I'm a leader, certain things that I went through, I felt like there weren't people that I could turn to. Like, depending on what the situation was, you may have guilt about it. You may feel like as a leader, maybe I shouldn't be struggling with this. And I just want to say, I'm not just only referencing to those that might be in the church as if, like, say, if you're a deacon, a minister, a pastor, but say if you're even in a leadership position in the world, say you're a supervisor, a CEO, at times you end up going through things. And as we can see in the media and things like that, there have been so many leaders that has fallen because I believe as though they're placed on a platform. So when they're actually struggling and going through something, they feel as though that there's absolutely no one that they can turn to. Or what can happen is that we've developed this kind of pride, maybe thinking that, oh, we're kind of different from everybody else. So then we actually then feel as though we don't have that same standard like everybody else. We don't have to be accountable. We don't need to reach out. We don't have to maybe receive counseling if we're struggling in certain areas. So because of that, and we've placed ourselves either on a pedestal or other people have placed us on a pedestal, we end up falling. So this is what this is actually about, that if you find yourself in any of these situations, one, to recognize and know that trying to put on a mask, that's one of the things I can say that I actually did for years, that I walked around with a mask, that there are times that I would try to fake it and everything like that. At times I'll be heated, annoyed. I don't want to be bothered with people because I have my moments where I don't really like people, don't want to be around people. It's just the truth. But at times that I will feel like I gotta fake it when I feel my little funkiness coming on me. And because I'm a leader, say if there are certain events or certain things happening at church, and because you're a leader, you normally take part in these things. So my mind will go to, well, if I don't show up, what would people think? What would people think? And at times, that's what kind of drove me, not really what God would think, but what would people think? And that's the thing that I'll say as a leader, that we have to break off from that and to be focused on what would God think, to go after pleasing him, not worrying about other people. Because the thing that I've learned in the past few months is that when I begin to please him, when my focus is on him and not anybody else, then that's where I find my greatest satisfaction, my peace, my joy, because I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about this person. I'm not worried about that person. My sole purpose is, what does God think? And I'm going to say this because for some who may be like, you know what? I only got to please God. I don't got to worry about you. There is no way you can honor God and disrespect and displease other people. It's not going to happen. God will never have you as a leader saying, okay, now my focus is just on pleasing him. I don't got to worry about you. It's not about you. I ain't going to be fake. That kind of attitude is not of God, because one, even as leaders, even if a person is a layman, they sit in the pew, they may not serve in a church, or it could be a regular co-worker, whatever, wherever a person may find themselves. The only difference between you and that person is your status, is your title. But apart from that, especially in Christianity, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. We all are called to die to ourselves. We all are called to crucify this flesh. So there is no distinction. God does not say, well, you're this. The only difference is your title. So just because you have a title does not give you a right to say, well, I don't got to answer to this. I don't got to do this. Who told you that? Who told you that? And the fact of the matter is, because we're leaders, we actually deal with more things than other people do. Real talk. Why? Because being that we have that mantle and that title on us, and we have other people underneath us that we have to lead, we tend to deal with a lot more things that they have to deal with. So because of that, we then have to make sure that we have our stuff together, that we're right mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and all those different things. And I'll even use Jesus. Jesus should be our example. Jesus, he faced ridiculed by the leaders, by even those in his town, that they actually talked about him because of where he was born. He dealt with, when Lazarus died, that he felt that emotion. He dealt with so many different things, but he dealt with it properly. And I'll even say that, look at your surroundings. Who are you surrounded? Who do you have surrounding you? So when you look at Jesus, Jesus had the 12 disciples, but yet he also had his 3, which was Peter, James, and John, which was his confidants. So being that that's the case, it shows that yes, you do have these people that you can be buddy with, but not everybody you can have in your close-knit circle. But you need to have somebody there that you can talk to, that you can let things out. So my prayer for you is that as a leader, wherever you find yourself, whatever your struggle may be, that you will press into God, that you won't try to keep wearing masks, that you don't try to fake stuff. If you're hurting, acknowledge it. If you're feeling a certain way, acknowledge it. I'll say be wise into whom you acknowledge it to. Make sure it's someone who is trusted and is someone that is trustworthy, someone that is credible. But be wise in what you're doing, but definitely seek the help that you need. So from a leader to another leader, I pray that this frees you up. I pray that you walk in the freedom that Christ has given you. And thanks again for watching. God bless you.